So good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the GATE previous year problem. So this is the first problem, and this is the first problem. We have to find out the force. What is the force that required at equilibrium on the semi-cylindrical gate as shown in below. So we have to find out this force. What is this force? So this is the gate. First of all you have to find out the hydrostatic force. So first of all you have to find out the hydrostatic force, okay, on the curved surface. So first you have to find out what is the horizontal component of the hydrostatic force, then you have to find out what is the vertical component. So if you want to find out the horizontal component of the hydrostatic force, so you have to take the projection of this cylindrical body on the vertical plane. So if you take the projection, so this is the projection I am taking of this point. Suppose this point is called A and this point is called B. I am taking the vertical projection of this one on this vertical plane. So this is my projection, this will be my B dash, and this is my projection of this point. Suppose this one is my A dash. Okay, and if you see the side view, this is my side view. So this is my side view. So this is my side view. Okay, so fine. This is my side view. This line is the hinge line. So this is the point. Suppose this point I am taking here. This point is O. So this point, okay, as a centroid of this one. So now we have projected the curved surface in a vertical plane, and this is similar to a vertical plane surface is submerged in water. Okay. So now this is the centroid part. This one is centroid. So we have to find out what is the horizontal component of the hydrostatic force. This can be found out by rho g into yc into this one is A. Okay. Suppose this is my width of the plate and this is my height. This height of the plate. Okay. Now the yc will be how much? Yc will be equal to, this is the centroid and this is 2 meters. So this is my yc. So this is my yc. And this yc will be equal to, this is 2 by 2, this is 1 meter. Okay, and this area is how much? This is h into w. Okay, this is a plane rectangular vertical plane surface. So as it is a rectangular vertical plane surface, so this h is how much? This is 2, and here the width of the plate is assumed to be 1 meter. Okay, we have assumed the width will be to be 1 meter. Okay. Now to find out the horizontal component of the hydrostatic force, that will be rho density is 1000 and G is 9.81, and this YC will be how much? 1 meter, and this A is 2 into 1. And this is in Newton. If you want to convert in kilonewton, you have to divide it by, this is by 1000. So this horizontal component of the hydrostatic force is coming out to be, this is 19 point. So this is 19.62 kilonewton, and and we have to find out its position. So if you want to find out, so the pressure distribution curve part you have to draw. So the pressure distribution curve, will be like that. This is the pressure distribution curve. So this is the hydrostatic force magnitude. And it is at a distance of how much? This is 2h by 3 from the free surface, and this one is how much? This one is h by 3. Okay, so now we have to extend this hydrostatic force to the curved surface. We are extending the hydrostatic force to the curved surface. So this is the point where this hydrostatic force will act. So this is the point where this hydrostatic force will act. So this is my horizontal component of the hydrostatic force. Okay, this is the point. And now we have to find out what is the vertical component of the hydrostatic force. I have to find out the vertical. This is the vertical component So this is vertical component of this hydrostatic. This is hydrostatic. So this is, suppose this is FHB I am writing. Okay, this is FHB. Now if I want to find out the vertical component of the hydrostatic force, that is nothing but it will be equal to rho g into how much volume is of the curve inside the water, means volume of the water inside the curve surface, how much volume has been submerged. Okay, so if you want to find out, what you have to do, you have to take this projection of this curve on a horizontal plane. So to take a projection of this one in a horizontal plane. So this is first point A, you have to take the projection. So this is the point A dash, and similarly if you take the point B projection, there also will be B dash. Now this is the zone in which we have to find out what's the vertical component of the hydrostatic force. So now you have to take this area, this is the submerged part. Okay, and you have to find out what is the area of this shaded part. What is the area of this shaded? Okay, now if you want to find out the vertical component of the hydrostatic force, that is will be equal to density of the water into G into volume of the shaded part. So this is volume of the shaded part. Okay, so now this is my, suppose this is my chord. Okay, this is my chord, and this is my, suppose this hinge point. Suppose this is my O, and we have already find out the hydrostatic force. Now this is the horizontal component of the hydrostatic force. Now this is my shaded part, we have to find out. So what is the vertical component of the hydrostatic force? And you see inside this shaded part no water is present. Okay, and outside the shaded part only water is present. Okay, so this is an imaginary liquid condition. So in which you have to take this shaded part region for the calculation of the vertical component of the hydrostatic force. So now if you want to find out the vertical component of the hydrostatic force, suppose this is my vertical component of the hydrostatic force, where it will act. It will act at the centroid of the shaded region. It will act at the centroid of the shaded area. Okay, now how to find out this one? So this is density of the water G, and volume of the shaded part, we can write down the area of the shaded part into this width. Okay, so the width, and here the width we have taken as this one is 1 meter, we have assumed. Okay, and most of students, they will ask why it is acting upward, because the water liquid is outside of this curved surface, and the reaction which is given by this water in upward only. This is similar to a buoyancy case. Okay, there is in shaded part there is no liquid present right over there, but out of the shaded area there is liquid is present, which is giving a reaction force to the curved surface. That's why it is acting upward direction. And here my this F is acting. Here my this F is acting. You have to find out this F. What is for the coulomb? What is the magnitude of the F? Okay. Now, if you want to find out this horizontal, this hydrostatic component of the hydrostatic in vertical direction, the density of water will be, this is 1000, and this is 9.81, and this area of this is a semi-cylindrical part. So this is semi-cylindrical, means semi-circle kind of thing. So you can find out the area will be equal to this pi r square by 2 into width is 1. Okay. So now this is, you have to find out in kilonewton. So this is by, you have to do in 1000. So now you have to put this is 9.81 into this pi. R square is how much? R square is, this is the radius. So there is 2 meters. So this is my radius. So this radius will be equal to, this is 1 meter. Okay. So this is pi into this 1 square into 1 by this is 2. So if you do, this is coming out to be, and this is coming out to be 15.41 kilometer. Okay. Now it will act at the centroid of this shaded area, and this is my hinge. Now if you want to find out the moment equilibrium equation, so if you use the moment equilibrium, moment about this hinge point will be equal to 0. So now this is what? This is how much? This distance is also 1 meter, and we already found the hydrostatic force component. So it is acting at a distance from the how much? This is h by 3. Okay. So this distance will be how much? We have to find out this distance. This is 1 minus this is h by 3, or you can this is 1 minus this is 2 by 3. Okay. And now this, what is this distance? This distance is called as 4r by 3 pi. The center of this threaded area, 4r by 3 pi. Now if you write down this, if moment equilibrium and clockwise moment, I am taking this one as positive, and this anti-clockwise moment I am taking this one as negative. Now I am writing for this f. So now I am writing for this f. So f about this point I am writing this point about this point. So f into this perpendicular, it is acting in clockwise direction. So I can have plus f into this is 1 meter perpendicular distance, and this minus, because I am writing for this hydrostatic force in horizontal direction, and this into this perpendicular distance. So this perpendicular is how much? 1 minus this h by 3, 1 minus h by 3. So this is, it is acting in anticlockwise direction because it is acting in anticlockwise direction. So fh into this is 1 minus h. H is how much? 2 by 3. Now okay, now this vertical hydrostatic force in vertical direction, it is acting in, again it is acting clockwise direction. Now this is the perpendicular direction, this perpendicular direction is 4r by 3 pi. So this is clockwise, so now plus this is hydrostatic force in vertical direction into this is 4r by 3 pi. 4r by 3 pi. Now if you this f into this is 1 minus fh, already we have found out what is the value fh we found out. This is, we have already found out 19.62. So this one is 19.62 into this is 1 minus 2 by 3. So this is 1 by 3. Okay, plus this hydrostatic force in vertical direction, this is 15.41. Okay, into this is 4 into r is 1 meter into I 3 into 5 will be equal to 0. Now if you see, this two thing will be coming out to be how much this is coming out to be? This is coming out to be, so f minus this is 6.5 per, this is plus 6.5 per will be equal to 0. So now this f will come equal to 0 kilometer. So this is the 0 kilonewton is coming out to be the magnitude of this. So now from there, this is my correct answer, 0 kilometer. Okay. So the next problem is we have to find out the next problem. So the force per unit width of a rectangular door submerged, this is already a rectangular door is submerged in a liquid density rho is shown in figure. So this is the case, and if you want to find out, if you draw the pressure distribution curve, this is my pressure distribution curve. This is my pressure distribution. Okay, this is my pressure distribution curve, and with the pressure acting perpendicular to the contact surface. Okay. Now this is the hydrostatic force we have to find out. This is the hydrostatic force we have to find out. So now this hydrostatic force you already know. This is will be equal to rho g into yc into a. Okay. So what is yc? Suppose this is my centroid. So this is my centroid, and this is suppose my this is L, and this is suppose my I am writing this is HC. Okay, and this one is called as centroid distance from this free surface in vertical direction. This one is YC. Okay, so if you want to find out the relation, YC will be equal to AC into this is sin theta. Okay, and this width of the plate. So the plate is like this. So this is actually like this one. So plate, this is given you as 1 meter, and this is width of the plate, which is also taken as 1 meter. If it is not mentioned, you have to take 1 meter. So YC will be AC. AC is 1 meter. AC is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2 into this is sine, this is 45 degrees. Okay, and this is sine 45 degrees 1 by 2 root 2. So this is 1 by 2 root 2. So this is by C. So this hydrostatic force is coming out to be this is density of this water into G, and this is 1 by 2 root 2, and this area is 1 into this is 1. So this is the area you have to take, this area. This is the cross-sectional area on which the hydrostatic force is acting. So this is coming out to be rho G by 2 root 2. So this is rho G by 2 root 2. So this is my correct answer, rho G by 2 root 2. Now it is saying a floating body. So it is saying a floating body with a center of gravity G. Center of gravity is given G, and center of buoyancy is given B, and meta center is given A. So you just remember one thing for floating body. So for floating body, for stability condition, for floating body, for stability condition, we have to check the position of M and G. We have to see the position of M and G, not B, not position of B for floating body. But for submerged body, we have to check the position of B and G, not M. So this is the thing you have to see. Now here is saying the floating body condition. So now for floating body condition, so this is floating body condition. Okay, so this is, suppose the meta center height is M, and this is G, and this is my point B. This is called stable equilibrium condition. This is stable condition. And now suppose the point will be like this is B, and this is M, and this is my G. So this is called unstable equilibrium condition. Okay, and for neutral equilibrium, so this is B, and this one point both G and M will be on side. So this will be neutral equilibrium. So now for stable equilibrium condition, the G should always lie below M, or M is lie above G. So here is saying G is lie below it. This is called for stable equilibrium condition. Okay. So now for triangular gate, a triangular gate is saying 2 meter and 1 meter lies in a vertical plane. Okay. The top vertex is 1 meter below the surface of the tank. So it is saying like this. So this is the free surface of the water. Okay. So here one triangular plate is there. So this is plate, and if you see the side view of this one, it is looking like this. So it is looking, and it is kept in vertical direction. And the top vertex, this is my top vertex. So top vertex is how much distance from the free surface? This is at a distance of 1.5 meter, and base of this one is 2 meter, and this height is 1.5 meter. Okay. So now if you draw the pressure distribution curve, so pressure distribution curve will be, hydrostatic pressure distribution curve will be like this. So this is my pressure distribution curve. Okay. Somewhere here will be your hydrostatic force in F. These are in perpendicular direction. The pressure always is perpendicular to the contact surface. So this position is called as center of pressure, where it will be. Suppose this one is my centroid. Okay. Suppose this one is my, I am telling this one is my centroid. And this is my center of pressure, which is centroid. Now I want to find out what is the force, hydrostatic force acting on this triangular gate. This is rho g into yc into a. So this yc I can find out. So this yc I can find out. This 1.5 into this one is I have to find out. This is 1.5 plus this is how much? 2 by 3 times of this 1.5 meter. Okay, so this is coming out to be 1.5 plus this is 1, so this is 2.5 meter. This is yc. Now the area is of the triangular gate is at half into 2 into this is 1.5. So this is 1.5 meters square. So now if you want to find out the hydrostatic force, this is density of this is water is the oil, sorry, there is oil is there. So inside there is oil. And the specific gravity of the oil is given out to be is 0.8. And this G value is given as 9.8 meter per second square. The density of water is given you 1000 kg per meter. So now this is oil. Okay, so the density of specific gravity of the oil will be equal to density of the oil by density of the water. So density of the oil will be how much? 0.8 into this one into 1000. Okay, density into this is 9.81 and this yc is how much? This is 2.5 and this area is 1.5. Okay, and we have to find out in kilometers, so we have to divide it by 1000. We have to divide it by 1000. So this is hydrostatic force is coming out to be, this is 29.43 kilometer. This is coming out to be 29.43 kilometer. So this is 29.43 kilometer hydrostatic force. Okay. So now it is asking, there is a gas pipe is connected right over here. There is gas pipe is connected. There is gas is there, and here is this one is, and this manometric fluid. This one is oil is there. Okay, so I have to find out what is the pressure at A. What is the pressure at point A? So now I am choosing 2 points. So this suppose this is point B, and suppose this point is suppose C, and suppose so this is B is given. Suppose this point is D. Okay, this is A, D, C, D. Okay. So now we know gas exerts uniform pressure. So gas exerts uniform pressure throughout. Okay. So this is throughout. So whatever the pressure at point A, the same pressure will be at pressure at point D, and pressure at point D will be equal to pressure at point C. Okay, so I can write down from here pressure at A will be equal to, this is pressure at point C. Okay, this is my equation 1. So what is the pressure at point C? So pressure at point C I can write out, suppose this height is, so this is the height, suppose is given H. Okay, this height is given you H. Okay, so this is a rho of oil G into this is H. Now this is the thing is given to you. So suppose this is the H and this is L and this is theta. So I can write down this sine theta will be equal to H by L. So H we can write down, this is L sine theta. So this pressure at point A, I can write down this one as rho of oil into, and this is one the gauge pressure, atmospheric pressure is 0. Okay, so G into this one is L sine theta. So what is the density of the oil? Density of the oil, this is given, specific gravity of the oil is 0.86. So specific gravity of the oil equal to density of the oil by density of the oil. So from here density of the oil will be equal to 0.86 into this one is 1000 I can do. So this is 860 into this is 9.81 and this is 100 mm. Okay, 100 mm I can convert into meter. Into this one is sine theta is 30 degree. So if you do, this is coming out to be, so this is coming out to be how much? 4421.83 Pascal. It is coming out to this one. But it is asking in meters of water. It is asking in meters of water. So I can convert this equivalent height of the pressure in the form of water by equal to the pressure at point A in gauge divided by density of the water into G. Okay. So this is 421.83 divided density of the water is 1000 into this one is 9.1. So now if you do this one, the value is coming out to, let me calculate first what is the value you are getting, and this is getting coming out to be 0.043 meter. So if you convert this one is mm, this is coming out to 43 mm of this is water. 43 mm. This is the correct 43 mm of water. Okay. So the gases exist uniform pressure. So whatever the pressure at point is, the same pressure will be point T. Okay. And the pressure at point D will be pressure at point C. So now I can, and if you take this one as a manometric equilibrium equation applied, then you can solve. So now this is very interesting problem. So now this is the first case. It's saying on the cross-sectional area of this manometric tube, the two manometric given is 5 mm into this is 5 mm, and specific gravity manometric fluid is given specific gravity manometric fluid 13.6, and this height 20 centimeter initially is given to you and open to the atmosphere. Now what is 5 centimeter cube of water is added to the right loop. So what will happen? Next there is some volume of water will be added. So this is volume of water. So this is volume of water added. Some volume of water will be added. So in second case, if you draw, second case what will happen? This is my case 1. Okay, this is my case 1. Better I will. Sorry. So now if you draw the in second case, so here and here, better I should go. I have to erase this. Wait, I have to erase. So now if you this is the second case I am doing simultaneously. This one also you can compare it. So this is my second case. Okay, so right over here I am doing. Okay. Now volume of some water has been added. So what will happen? Now this is my initial line. So this is my initial line. Okay. Now what will happen? There is some mercury will be displaced because there is some water is come. So here some water will come. So what will it exert a pressure at this point? So what will get some displaced? The mercury will displace. Okay. At the displace and same amount will be here. It will be gained. So it is an incompressible one. Same amount it will be gained. How much it is displaced right over there. Okay. So now we have to find out what is the new height. So this is already we have find out this is 20 centimeter. Okay, this is 20, and we have to find out what is this height. Okay, suppose this is height. I am telling this one is h2, and this height which is fall right over here. This is suppose h1. Okay, so this is h1. So this height. Okay, so now you have to find out this height. Okay, you have to find out this height. Suppose I am taking this one as capital H. So I can write down this capital H will be equal to H1 plus H2. This H is 20. We have to measure this. This H will be 20, not 20. This is H will be suppose this one my H. So this one is my H. So this one is suppose my H. Okay, this is my H. Not this H will be equal to this is H1 and this height will be H2. So this is H1 plus H2. Now we have to find out some volume of water has been added. So this is the volume of the water. So what is the height of the water here? We have to find out what is the height of the water. Suppose this is Y. So we can find out the height of water column in the right lane. So the height of the water column in the right lane will be equal to volume of the water added divided by the cross section area of the lane, right lane. Okay, this is equation 1 I am taking. Now I am taking the manometric. So here photoelectron, here water will come. So here is water is coming. Here then I am making this one dense. So here water came. So there after there water, and this one is called mercury. So this is mercury is here. Okay. Now I am taking this one is my reference axis. So this is my reference. This is X and this one is X reference axis. Suppose this point I am taking this is B and this point I am taking C. So if I apply the manometric equation about this point B and point C, I can write down pressure at point B will be equal to pressure at point C. So what is the pressure at point B? Pressure at point B will be equal to rho n, because I am writing the form gauge. Atmospheric pressure I am neglecting. Here atmospheric pressure is coming. Here also atmospheric pressure is coming, but I am writing in gauge value. So atmospheric pressure will become 0. So rho n G into this H, okay, H1 plus H2 will be equal to this is rho W into G into this is how much this is suppose this one, this is the total height, and suppose this is the total height of the water column Y. This is Y. So this Y is total height of the water column. The rho G into Y. Okay. So now from here I can find out the H value will be equal to rho W into G into Y divided by this one is rho M into G. So G form. So this is coming out to be rho W into Y divided by rho M. Okay. So now I can write down this one as Y by this is rho M by rho W. So this is Y by specific gravity of the manometric fluid. This is H. This is equation 2. Okay. Now if you write down the volume balance equation, volume equilibrium equation. Volume equilibrium equation means whatever the volume will be displaced from this zone, okay, same volume will be gained at this zone, same volume will be gained at this one. So I can write down volume at the right lane. This is area into this H1. So the volume came in left lane. This is A into this one is suppose this side. So this is H2. This is H2 and this is H1. So this is A into H2. So here we can find out this H1 will be equal to H2. So this is equation 3. So now if you put this is suppose equation 1, equation 2 and suppose this is equation star. So if you put the equation 3 value in equation star, that is coming out to be this H will be equal to 2 times H2. Okay, this is H is coming out to be 2 times H2. So now this H value I am putting right over the here. H value I am putting right over the here. So I got this H will be equal to Y by Sn, and this Y we got this one is volume of the water added divided the cross section area at the right lane. Okay, and this H we got this one is 2 times H2. So I can put this H in this H I can rewrite here. This is 2 times H2 will be equal to Y is V by A into this one is Sn. Okay, and this H2 will be equal to V by 2 times A into Sn. This is a general expression I derived. Now see, here the volume of water is already given to you. This volume of water, how much this is? 5 centimeter cube is added. Okay, and this Y we can this cross section area is given how much? This is 5 millimeter into 5 meter. Sn manometric fluid gravity 13.6. and we can put all this value. So I will put all this value. So this is volume is given 5 centimeter cube. Okay. In the 2 area is given you as 5 millimeter or 5 millimeter. So I can write this is 0.5 in centimeter. I am writing into 0.5, and the specific gravity of the manometric fluid is 13.6. So if you solve this one, this is coming out to be how much it is coming out to be? 0.735 centimeter. This H2 is coming out to be, so this H2 is coming out to be 0.735 centimeter. Let me have one calculate. So this so this is the H2 value is 0.735 centimeter is coming out to be. Now see the new height. So this height is coming out to be H2. So if you draw the figure right over here, so I'm drawing this figure. This is the new height. Okay. So this is my manometric fluid. Initial level it was there. Initial level air mercury. Now there is water is coming. So this is the water. And then this is water. So this is the water is coming. Same will be gained by air mercury. So this is mercury is air right over here. Okay, there is some gain in mercury. So now this one is already given. This one is 20 centimeter, and this H2. This is H2. H2 will be equal to H1. H1 also there is 0.735 centimeter. So how much fall? This is the gain. So this is 0.735 centimeter. What is the new height? New total height how much? This is the new total height. So this new total height will be 20.735 centimeter. This is the new height, 20.735 centimeter. So if you want to write down, the answer will be this is 20.735 centimeter. This is the new height. Okay. So now a pipe carrying water is attached to a differential gauge. A deflection in mercury is given to 0.6, and you have to find out what is the pressure difference at between this point 1. Suppose this is point A and this is suppose point B. Okay, and in meters of water. So okay, so first of all you choose, suppose this is the point. You have to write down the manometric equation of this point. So this is x. Okay, and suppose this point is at a distance of, so suppose this is the distance of x from this there, and and suppose this distance. Okay, suppose this distance, I'm deriving the general expression. Suppose this distance is y. Okay, and this distance is, suppose this is x. Okay, this is x and this is y. Now if you write down the manometric equation, suppose this point is A, suppose this is point C, and this point is, suppose this point is D, and suppose this point, this is the point E, and suppose this point is F. So I can write down, if you write down the manometric equilibrium equation, this is manometric equilibrium equation. So pressure at point C will be equal to pressure at point E. Pressure at point D will be equal to pressure at point E will be equal to pressure at point, this one is F. So this one is point F. So pressure at point F. Okay. So what is the pressure at point C? So whatever the pressure at point A, okay, whatever the pressure at point A minus, so we are moving away from this datum line. So this is density of, this is water is there. So this mercury has manometer, so this is rho m, and the water density rho into G into this one is x. Okay, we reach this point. Now whatever the pressure at this point, same pressure will be there, no problem. And now you have to write down from here. Okay, pressure at point B will be equal to, now we have to write down for, suppose I am going to this, suppose this is point F and this is suppose point G, and this point, top point is suppose H. Okay, so now I have to go to the point G. Okay, what is the pressure at point B? Whatever the pressure at point B minus this is density of the water into this is x plus y. We have reached this point, so whatever the pressure at point B will be equal to pressure at point H, but we have to move to the point E, so we have to again move down. So this is plus this is rho m into G into this one y. Okay, so this is the manometric equilibrium equation. So pressure at point A minus pressure at point B. So now you see, if you remove this one bracket and this, if you remove this one, this rho gx and minus this is water, sorry, rho w gx and rho w here also not to multiply g. So this is g, you have to multiply rho w g into x. Rho w g into x, it will be cancelled with each other. So finally it will coming out to be rho m minus rho w into this is g into y. Okay, but it is asking in meters of water. It is asking meters of water. So equivalent height of water will be equal to the pressure difference at point A minus pressure difference at point B by density of water into G. So I can write down this is rho m minus this is rho w into G into y divided by density of water into G. So this G is gone. Okay. So again this height of the water I can write this is rho m by this one is rho w minus 1 and to this is y. Okay. Rho m minus rho w is the specific gravity manometric fluid. This is minus 1 into y. So this is the basic general expression I will derive for you. Now you can put the value. So specific gravity manometric fluid is, you know, this one is 13.6. This is mercury is there. This is minus 1. And what is this y? This y will be equal to 0.6 meter. So this is 0.6. Okay, so this is 12.6 into this 0.6. So this is coming out to be how much? So I'm calculating, let me calculate that. How much is coming? And this is coming out to be 7.56. So this is coming out to be 7.56 meters of water. So this is 7.56 meters of water. Okay, fine. Now this is the velocity field is given. Density is varying with respect to this one minus 2t. So we have to find out the lambda value. Okay, that the mass conserved. Mass conserved means it must satisfy the continuity equation. So to satisfy the continuity equation, it must satisfy the flow must satisfy this is the d rho by dt plus rho by rho x of rho u plus rho by rho y of this is rho v plus this is rho by rho z of rho w will be equal to 0. Okay, so I can put this velocity component is uy cap plus this is v j cap, this one is w k cap. So suppose this is equation 1 and this whatever the expression is given to, suppose this is my equation 2. So I can compare from this equation 1 and equation, you can find out the value. This is u, this is v and this is my w component. So I can directly write in here d rho by rho t of this is rho naught into e to the power minus 2t. Okay, plus this one is rho by rho x of this u. But let me write down this that is rho x. So u is how much? 5x plus this is 6y plus this one is 7z. Okay, and this is rho is, let me get it rho. And this is rho by rho y of v. V is 6x plus this one is 5y plus this one is 9z. This is rho. So this again rho by rho z of 3x plus this is 2y plus this one is lambda z will be equal to 0. Now I could do the derivative, partial derivative with respect to time. So this is coming out to be rho naught into minus 2 into e to the power minus 2t. Rho by rho x of 5, this is 5 times rho, and rho by rho this is also, this is 5 times rho, and rho by rho z which is lambda times rho is there, so rho will be equal to 0. Now why I am putting this rho as rho? because see this rho naught into e to the minus 2t I can again rewrite as this one is minus into 2 into rho. So minus 2 into rho I can write down. So this is 5 rho plus this one is 5 rho plus this is lambda rho equal 0. So rho I can take outside. Okay, rho can I take outside. So this constant I can take outside. So the equation is now becoming, so this is minus 2 plus this is 10 plus lambda will be equal to 0. So this rho will take common, so density will not equal to 0. So this expression can become equal to 0. So here lambda plus 8 will be equal to 0. So this lambda will be equal to, this is minus 8. So this minus 8 is the correct answer. Okay, and this is GATE 2064. So now the velocity field is given you as this one, and you find out the acceleration of the particle in one direction. So this is the last problem, I think. No, another problem is there. The last two problems are there. So suppose the velocity field, we can write down this one is uy cap plus this one is bj cap. So this is equation 1 and this is my equation number. Suppose this is my equation number 2. If you compare equation 1 and 2, so I can write down the u component of the velocity is 2y, v component of the velocity is 3x. Now it is asking for acceleration in x direction only. So for acceleration in x direction I can write down, so this is u dou u by dou x plus this is v dou u by dou y plus this is dou u by dt. This is for two dimensions. This one is convective part, this one is local acceleration, but it is not a function of time. So this local acceleration can I write 0. So the now expression in x direction is reduced to, this is u dou u by dou x plus this is v dou u by this one is dou y. So u is how much? U is, this one is 2y. So I can have dou by dou x of u. U is, this is 2y plus v is 3x and dou by dou y of u again I think this one is 2y. Now the acceleration in x direction is coming out to be, this is partial derivative with respect to 0 plus this is 3x into this one is 2. So now acceleration in x direction coming out to be 6x. But you have to find out the acceleration in x direction at the point of 1 and 1. Okay. So now you put the value of 1, this is coming out to 6. So this is 6 meter per second. Okay, 6 meter per second. This is the correct one. 6 meter per second. This is the last problem of today's lecture. So you just feel freely to ask me the question. You can have the contact number. If you don't have, write down my contact number. You can ask me the doubts. So then this is my WhatsApp number. You can call. You can ask me in WhatsApp also. 9556407657. So you just make a text. You can ask me freely. I can make you understand. That is my job to make you understand. So the velocity component of two-dimensional motion is given, u component is given and v component is given. So I have to check two things, whether the fluid is incompressible and the fluid is irrotational. We have to check two components. So first, for the fluid to be incompressible. So for the fluid to be incompressible, it must satisfy the continuity equation. Dou u by dou x plus this is dou v by dou y will be equal to 0. This is for two-dimensional flow. Now I can write down here, this is dou by dou x of u is what? This is y3 by 3 plus this one is 2x minus this is x square into y. Okay. Plus this dou by dou y of v is xy square minus 2y minus q by 3. Now I to write down, this is coming out 2, this is 0 plus 2 minus this is 2xy. Okay. So plus dou by dou y, this is 2xy minus 2 minus 0. So if you see, these are cancelling each other and this is coming out to be 0. So it is satisfied. So it is satisfied the continuity equation. So I can write down hence the flow. So when the flow is incompressible. So when the flow is incompressible. This is the first case. Now if you want to check the flow to be rotational or irrotational. So the flow is rotational. P-A-T-I-O-N-L, rotational, or this is irrotational, P-A-T-I, irrotational flow. So here the flow is now happening in XY plane. So now the flow is acting in XY plane. So definitely the omega x, angular velocity in x direction, angular velocity in y direction, that is must be 0. But now if you check the angular velocity into z direction. So if it is coming out to be 0, then this is a irrotational flow. So this is a irrotational flow. But if it is not coming out to be 0, then it is a rotational flow. So this is a rotational flow. Now I have to check the omega z value. So the omega z I can write down angular velocity z direction. This is half of dou v by dou x minus this one is dou u by this one is dou y. So now I can write down this omega z vector form. So this is half of, this is dou by dou x of v. V is how much? So v is given you as xy square minus 2y minus x3 by 3. So this is xy square minus 2y and this is minus x3 by 3. So this is minus x3 by 3. Okay. Now this is minus dou by dou y of u. So u is given y3 by 3 plus 2x minus x square y. So this is y3 by 3 plus 2x. So plus 2x minus x square into y. So this is half into, so dou by dou x, this is coming out to y square. Okay, this is minus 0 minus this is x square. Okay, and this is minus dou by dou y, this is y square, and this is minus 0. I'm opening this bracket, and this is coming out to be plus x square. Okay, so here minus x square plus x square plus y square and x square, so this is coming out to be 0. So omega z is coming out to be 0. So here omega x, omega y, both are 0. So both are 0. So now this flow is become hence the flow is irrotational, irrotational flow. If it would come out to be not equal to 0, from non-zero value it will come, then it will become a rotational flow. So in this case, in our numerical, so this is incompressible and flow is irrotational flow. So this is the right answer. So thank you for today for watching my video, and next class I will teach you the flow through pipes. Okay, and I will teach you the flow through pipes, and I will solve some numerical based upon the fluid dynamics part. Already I discussed the introduction and the application of the Bernoulli equation. So next class I will discuss some the important problem related to fluid dynamics, and I will solve the I will start the new chapter which is called fluid flow through pipes. So thank you for watching. Stay safe. Thank you.